Hello and welcome, Tino here for the ones new to the channel, and today I received the best advice from you guys in my life while playing Hearts of Iron 4. And first of all, I would like to thank all the comments, the likes, the shares, the tips that you provide, the questions. It makes me very happy and give me motivation to keep going with these videos. So I'm going to explain what's the idea of the tip that I got today. Let's take this example. As always, I'm playing with Poland and I have an attack. My spearhead is on this province, and if we mouse over, you will see this icon here. This icon is the armor. Most of you should know that if you have this armor and the armor, the shield is perfect, means that you have 100% armor. This means that you're going to be taking half damage, and also that you have double armor than the enemy piercing. That means that you do not have partial piercing. If you meet those two conditions, you are taking half damage and you are dealing twice as much. In this situation, they also have armor, so this is very bad for me since I'm going to be taking half damage, but I'm going to be dealing half damage to this unit too. So this combat is going to take a long time, and this is very bad for my operation in Königsberg. But my trick that I always use with all the countries that I play is that all my divisions in the front line, I use the tower, and they have also armor bonus. I produce in masses a tank that I call Wally, and this tank has a lot of armor, and this improves the strength of the division 3 times. So let's take a look at the template. And what I was doing was this: I add the armor tank here, and so this value is 3 times stronger now. So it's much better to add let's say an artillery piece here than add an artillery piece anywhere else, because this tank is multiplying the power of the artillery piece by 3. But before proceeding, I would like to give special thanks to Chan from Germany. That was the guy that gave us this wonderful tip. So going back to my template, you try to minimize the components and use the cheapest weapon for the Wally, because I use this most expensive building that increases the cost of the tank by 20%. So if you use this expensive type of building that increases your armor, you should use the cheapest things in this tank, unless you're rich, of course, and you can use any weapon you want. But I try to minimize, so I put points in armor, keep the speed at the speed of the infantry division, 4 kilometers per hour, and give this slope armor. But this can be improved if you change this weapon, that is the heavy machine gun, by the anti-air gun. It's a little bit more expensive, but it has some extra benefits. And you save this template as anti-air. You change here the model. Instead of medium tank, you should save it as anti-air. And we have here the old Wally, costs 6.3, and the new anti-air costs 7.7, but has some better stats, especially in anti-air. But the armor that matters is it's exactly the same. But you may say that's a more expensive tank. Yes, it's slightly more expensive, but if we check the template, let me show you the tower. You're going to see that the previous template, you see medium tanks. Let me find medium tanks 50. Okay, 50 medium tanks. And now let's change this template with the anti-air, and we have a now medium anti-air tank 36. So less medium tanks than before. So you are using a more expensive tank, a little bit more, but you are using far less, 36. So let's go to the calculator, and we are going to multiply 36 by this number and 50 by this number. And here we have the results. The industrial capacity cost using the anti-air is 277, and 315 if you use the single machine gun, a cheaper weapon. So we use a better weapon and we produce cheaper, and if we make the calcs is 13.7 cheaper. That means that we are going to be able to produce 13.7, almost 14 more Wally tanks. And since from the start of the game I'm using 5 on infantry equipment and 5 factories on Wallis, by having more than 10% extra Wallis, I will be able to fill and supply more units. Take an example, this as an example. On this current game, I use Wallis on this front line, in this salient, and so I hold the line here, but in the south, I didn't manage to provide these 4 divisions with Wallis. If I had that trick before, I would have been able to provide these units with Wallis, because the enemy broke the line here, since it took me a lot of time to take Königsberg because the problem with these tanks. So then I had to move my tanks to control the problem in the salient, and I started the offensive on Germany later, and that was a very big problem. That extra 5% of divisions or stronger division on the field, or I mean 14% more Wally tanks, would have made the difference for me. Okay, thanks a lot, Shan, for the tip from Germany. It was great for me. I'm going to use it always from now on. And if you guys have another tip, if you enjoy, please leave a like, in a comment, a question. That will be great. And thanks for watching. See you on the next one. Bye bye.